Hey everyone, welcome to this Valuecase product release. Today we are shipping a bunch of improvements for the app, but also for our MCP. I will show you the new sidebar for automations. We can talk about the MCP updates, the email notification updates, and then there's a couple of other improvements that you will find in the product newsletter and the changelog and on the website as always. Now, let's dive right in and start with the new automation sidebar. With the new automation sidebar, we really wanted to help you better adopt our automation features. Now, let me look into this form and here you can find the new sidebar on the top. We, by the way, did overall a bit of a refresh. So for example, you can now hide and show blocks directly from this content level. You can also do a couple of other settings and you will find a few quality of life improvements in the sidebar here. However, for the new automation sidebar, I can now check the notifications that are active for this form and I can see it here. Currently there's nothing active. And then I can also go into my workflows. And this sidebar works on a space level and on a template level. It shows you which workflows are triggered from the specific block and really helps you keeping the overview if you have many workflows active and makes overall the workflows much more accessible. Before you had to click into the settings in the editor, now you can just click on this button and create your workflow. And in this case, I just want to send a notification after this form is done. So I can send a pop-up in the space and say, thanks, on to the next step. And when I create this workflow, you will see it now appearing in the sidebar and clearly telling me what is actually going on. By the way, you can also click Manage All here if you want to see all the workflows that are in the space. This table also got a bit of an update with new filters here on the top, also new columns, so it's easier to read because many of you have a lot of these workflows configured. We just wanted to make it easier to use. And the same for notifications. Let me actually jump to the action plan to show you that. You can just go to this one, click Notifications here, and then I can set up my task notifications or my milestone notifications actually and enable this. Now, when I create a space, again, I will clearly see this notification is active and it's much more visible, especially if you configure the template centrally and then your team uses it. It's now much more visible to them as well, which notifications, which automations are actually firing. Next, our MCP also got a bunch new tools. If you had to customize in Claude or in your AI tool and go to our MCP, you might need to refresh the tool list, but then you will find a lot of new tools here. And this includes especially a few new writing tools, enabling you to really use Valuecase through the MCP. And I will just show you a demo here. I have an onboarding space that is done and I want to mark all the tasks as complete and then I want to archive the space. This is a pretty typical workflow where you might want to just close out a space completely and then archive it so it doesn't appear in your dashboard anymore. And the MCP before could just create spaces. Now it has all these write actions. It can also write comments. It can mention people. It can add new stakeholders to a workspace. So you can really use it to operate Valuecase from Claude or ChatGPT. And here you can see that it figured out the space. It sees that there are 9 completions to be done. And I would just say yes to kick it off. And this enables you to use Valuecase in a much more agentic way. You could have an agent that basically chases customers through comments. You could have something that, closes out a project or completes a task based on some other data sources, checks your emails, and then goes into Valuecase and does something. We are also shipping more and more features for this MCP and also for our assistant in the app. And hopefully you find them useful. Let us know if you have any requests for it. We really want to learn which workflows you're trying to enable. And meanwhile, Claude is done. All 9 tasks are marked as completed and the space is archived. So it's not accessible for the customer anymore. Finally, I wanted to mention a few more updates. First, you can now reply to our common email notifications and the comment will be correctly shown in the workspace. This also means when you mention a customer, we send a notification to them, they can now also reply to that email and that reply will land directly in the comment thread, sending you a notification and so on. Second, there's a new deep dive button in our space activity feed. So just head to the activity feed of a space. And if there's some activity, click deep dive on the top right. And you will see now a bit of a deep dive of what's actually going on. Third, in our space list, you can now in the space side panel move tasks around. You can change assignees and the same goes for the task dashboard, just making it a bit easier for you to manage tasks throughout your workspaces directly from the dashboard without having to jump to the spaces. All right, that's it for the release today. Thank you so much for tuning in and let us know if there's anything missing. If you have any feedback, we really love to hear it. See you soon in the next one. Bye-bye.